What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video I am bringing you guys an anti-haul. Now, I had previously recorded this video on this very camera, but as you have seen, I've been having some trouble with my autofocus, so I decided I really wanted to go ahead and bring you guys another anti-haul. I am trying to repress the inner consumer in me, and if you didn't know, today is Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. And I've already done some damage. I've done major damage. So we need to repress it a little bit, and let's get into the anti-haul. So yeah, I am doing this in reality, one, to suppress wanting to purchase more, but two, also to try and avoid doing my homework. I've been successfully avoiding that for 2 days now, and the stress factor hasn't really kicked in yet. Once the stress factor kicks in that papers are due soon, then I'll really be like nailed in focused, but it hasn't kicked in. So I'm going to continue to record while I have the inkling to do so, and while I have the memory card, all of that. I'm just gonna continue to record, and we're just gonna repress any reality factor that needs to be brought into my attention. So first thing that I'm gonna be anti-hauling is the BH Cosmetics, what is this even called? The BH Cosmetics Zodiac palette. This is the second one. I will have all the pictures on this side today, and this is just a basic palette. It's a basic neutral palette with a pop of blue. I have now purchased, I want to say 2 or 3 color formula situations in this situation. My favorite one thus far is the Zuri Cosmetics one. That one is beautiful. And yeah, I don't need it. I don't need it, and I'm not gonna buy it. So yeah. Did not say in the intro, Kimberly Clark is the person who created this series and really popularized it. I will of course have her channel linked down below. I miss her so much. I need her to get off tour so that she can provide me with videos that are funny, witty, and just all around I'm here for. But anyways, next thing that I'm going to be anti-hauling is ColourPop's holiday collection. The entire collection. It is a huge collection. They have like 30 lip products. They have gel body glitter things. They have gel eye bases. They have lip pencils, and they have a palette. I don't want anything. No, thank you. Next is the Loreal holiday collection. It has nothing to do with Loreal. I'm just not interested in this collection at all. It is a very basic holiday palette, and if you're interested in stuff like that, by all means. And then she has other basic stuff. Honestly, I just don't need it, and I'm not gonna buy it. I find a reason to buy a lot of things, and the things that I don't find the reason for, I'm gonna stay true to that because I don't need it, and I'm not going to buy it. Next, Kat Von D has released a gel glitter pot thing. I don't wear gold. That's just not something that I wear. I reach for silver a lot more. I'm really loving this inner corner situation. Oh, I did not say, but I finally got over it, and I tried out this Ace Beaute Paradise Fallen palette for the first time today. This is actually something that I've had on for like 5-6 hours now, so I'm really happy at the pigmentation, the blendability, all that thus far, but this is my first eye look, so let's wait and we will see. But anyways, I don't wear gold, so no. I like liquid shadows, but I just, no ma'am, thank you, I don't need it, and I'm not gonna buy it. Next, Tarte has come out with their Tartiest Pro Remix palette, and originally I was gonna be like, okay Tarte, I see you trying, I'm gonna give you a shot, because I was one of those people that was like, y'all need to come out with something colorful, y'all need to do this, y'all need to do that. Yes, this is more colorful for Tarte, but this is not gonna bring any value to my collection. And let me tell you, it's gonna take a lot for something to bring value into this collection. Okay, I have a lot of stuff. So yeah, as much as it's nice, yeah, no. And then on top of that, there's only 3 mattes, and they're all like basic colors. No ma'am, no ma'am. Next is the Morphe James Charles collab. I'm anti-hauling the whole kit and caboodle. I don't want the palette and I don't want the eyeshadow or the brushes, period. For the palette, it is a huge palette. It's bigger than the Jaclyn Hill palette. I do have that one. I use it on time to time, not very often though. And for me, this palette's too big, and I have palettes that have all these colors and I'm not really reaching for it. Morphe's formula is okay. I'm not dying for it. I'm not hating it. It's just okay for me. So for me to go ahead and purchase this palette, which is like $39, does not make sense. And then the brush set is like $200 or something like that. And yes, you're getting like 30 brushes for $200, but child, no. No ma'am. So I don't need it and I'm not gonna buy it. Next, Sigma thought they were doing something real cute when they created a gold brush pad. Wheat. Sigma. Y'all, what? Child, no. Just, KKW is released her holiday collection, and this is the most basic stuff. This is the most basic stuff I think she has dropped to date. Now don't get me wrong, I have tried her lip. I tried one lipstick because it looked fantastic on Alyssa Ashley, not so much on me. So yeah, that's my one purchase from her. I appreciate it, yeah, but no thank you. And this just looks basic. It looks stupid basic, and I have been interested in like one other thing from her collection, but nobody's reviewed it and I'm not spending the money on it, so it's gonna sit in her factory and not in my collection. Dose of Colors is doing a collab with Disney for Mickey's 90th anniversary. They're all basic colors. Everything's basic, and I get it. With a collab like this, you have to pay for the branding, so it's a lot of money. So you're gonna want to do a more neutral, basic collection so that more people purchase your item. But in reality, it's too basic for me. I'm not that person, so I don't need it. And what? I'm not gonna buy it. Next is the Dominique Cosmetics Berries and Cream collection. I was really pressed and sized to see what came out of this collection, and it's not for me. It's not for me. You guys know I love purples. I have a lot of purple palettes. So for something to be brought into my collection that has any purples in it, it really has to speak to me. And this is just not it. I would have preferred if she had a splash of cream, and if it was a lot more purples and blues. I think that would have been a very interesting color scheme compared to what is out in the market when it comes to purple palettes. So for me, this is just not calling for me, and I don't need it, so I'm not gonna buy it. Next, I think in my last anti-haul, I had one of the Sephora Favorites kits, and I'm going to do it again in this one. And this is the Sephora Favorites Beauty Vault. It's 12 days of makeup. It's $90. And for me, my big problem is that I'm paying $90 for samples. You have eyelashes with a full size. I don't wear lashes. As you guys can see, I've never worn lashes, so that's a wrap, and everything else is a sample size. Why would I pay $90 for a pair of lashes and a bunch of sample sizes when I can just use points and or get it for free? I don't need it, and I'm not gonna buy it. Next is this e.l.f. palette that they released, the Opposite Attract palette. It's the second one in this collection, and it's the new classics. Who authorized this picture right here? This looks about just coffin ready, okay? This looks like it'll make me coffin ready in a heartbeat, and no ma'am. So yeah. Next, Triscu, oh Lord, Triscu. We're gonna go with that. Triscu has a powder highlighter stick. For what? How much is this? $30? This is $18. For me, I don't use cream products, especially not cream cheek products, so I would not waste $18 on this. At the most, I would get a Wet n Wild highlighter stick and call it a day. So for me, I don't need it, and I'm not gonna buy it. ABH has released a vault of 4 of her eyeshadow palettes. It's the Soft Glam, Modern Renaissance, Subculture, and Prism. I actually have 3 of these palettes. I have the Modern Renaissance, Subculture, and the Prism palette. I like all three, and Soft Glam just does not scream to me, so I don't need it. But for me, it's like, okay, I get why you put modern renaissance and subculture together. A lot of people think that's their holy grails, and cool beans, but the other two people really don't like that. Most people in this community don't like it, so why would you stick those in there? You know what I mean? It feels like y'all are just trying to get rid of the supply, because Prism was supposed to be limited edition last winter. Jouer Cosmetics has come out with their holiday collection, and it is a foil eyeshadow palette. I don't need another all shimmer palette. I want to say one or two of them, and I like them, and I won't get rid of them, but I don't need to bring any others into my collection. I know that I do not reach for these type of palettes, so why bring them into my collection? You know what I mean? So no. Makeup Geek is coming out with a holiday collection. It just does not scream to me. It just screams that she's trying to use up her the palettes that she had wasted with the Jaclyn Hill collab that never came through. So I just no. And there were some others. Give me one second. There were some other palettes that I had originally done a video on, and the video kept coming out tragic, so I'm just going to talk about them in this anti-haul. Next is the Norvina palette. The Norvina palette is a palette that I thought was going to be the perfect palette for me. I do like and very much enjoy the ABH formulation, and the cover was purple, so I was expecting a lot more purples. This is just like a warm tone palette with like 2 purples and 2 pinks. No, I don't need it, and I'm not gonna buy it. I have palettes that have this formula and better, so for me it's just not, it's not right. Next I have the Gingerbread Spice eyeshadow palette, and this is an eyeshadow palette that really I know I don't need. I have the palette from last year's holiday collection, the chocolate gold palette. I have it right here, and for me all the metallics that are in the gingerbread palette are in this palette. The only difference is you get the warm eyeshadows and you have more mattes in the gingerbread. And I was gonna get it during Too Faced's holiday 30% off sale, but they made sure this was out of stock. Good job, Too Faced. So I don't need it, and I'm not gonna buy it. Next is the Born to Run eyeshadow palette, and so many people rave about this on Instagram, YouTube, everywhere, and they made me think like maybe I do need this palette. But then I realized I just purchased one of the Sephora Pro palettes, and it has the same color scheme but better, so I don't need it, and I'm not gonna buy it. Natasha Denona has a sunset palette that so many people raved about. It was limited edition, and then so many people raving about it that she actually released it permanently in her line. And no, I don't need this palette. I have eyeshadow palettes that scream this formulation. I don't have the ColourPop Yes Please palette, but I have some palettes, and I have all the main colors. I have yellow, I have an orange, I have a red. I don't need this palette. You know what I mean? Those are the basic colors in this palette, so I don't need it. And what? I'm not gonna buy it. Next is the Tom Ford Extreme Eye Quad, and I actually have a palette that screams this. And this isn't the palette, but this is a palette that I have nearby, and this actually screams this one too, and it's this. This is my Igneous Cosmetics Deep Blue palette. This screams that Tom Ford Quad, and then here it is. And then also I went ahead and purchased the Smashbox Ultraviolet, what is it? Ultraviolet Eye Quad. This has some colors, and then if you still aren't satisfied, the Smashbox cover shot that I did review in my last palette roundup, that one that has the new like foiled shadows, those have shadows that are exactly like this in my opinion. So for me, I have 3 palettes that have similar color schemes. I really don't need to spend $92 on 4 eyeshadows. I'm not there in my life. Next is the Huda Beauty New Nudes eyeshadow palette. Now, I was not checking for this palette at all. At all. But everybody on YouTube raves about this palette. Dark girls, light girls, everybody in between. And they've made me like low-key side-eye this palette. Like, do I need it? Should I go into Sephora to swatch it? But I know if I go into Sephora to swatch it, I'm going to leave Sephora with it. So I'm just going to be happy with the eyeshadows that I have in my collection. I have the It's My Ray Ray collab. I have that palette. I have another BH Cosmetics palette, which is called the Glam Reflections palette. Those are two very mauvey, rosy colors, and since I don't reach for that color scheme very often, I am going to stick away from this. And then on top of that, I have now sold all of the Huda Beauty palettes that I purchased because I don't like that formula. So why am I thinking about purchasing this? I don't need it. I don't like her formula. I don't wear these colors a lot. I don't need it, and I'm not going to buy it. Okay, last palette that I wanted to talk about is the Kevyn Aucoin Nude Pop Pro eyeshadow palette. Now, this is yet another more mauve purple, very light thing. The Kevyn Aucoin Nude Pop palette is basically this, and I would say it's comparable to these like 8 shadows in the very middle. I did purchase this on Makeup Struggles advice, and I knew going in that I most likely would not like the shimmers. Like she said, these shimmers are trash, but the mattes are really blendable. And out of all the palettes that I've talked about, that might be the one that I break and purchase, just because I really do reach for a lot of purples, and a lot of people say that that's a really good formula and a really good palette. But yeah, anyways, I hope I kind of ended this anti-haul out on a little nice chipper moment. I wasn't too sassy in this one. I just wasn't feeling it. You know what I mean? I was feeling it, but I wasn't feeling it. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, y'all, it has been real. Peace.